And then they come back and they're nice to you for a day or so. And then the same happens again. The same happens again. And you ask yourself, but what the hell? I was finally getting better. Why did I contact the narcissist again? When I keep watching these videos and everyone in the video says to go no contact, and I had pulled off no contact. I had a 5-day no contact streak. Woohoo! 5 days. Big whoop. And then you go dial their number again. Oh, didn't see you there. Hi. My name is Kita. This is PsychopathEXposure. Wanted to talk about narcissist hoover. What exactly is a narcissist hoover? Well, you know, vacuum cleaner. You know the brand Hoover that's been around forever? Well, that's where they get it from. It's basically when a narcissist or a toxic person tries to suck you back in, the same way vacuum cleaners do. And it happens a lot when the victim of narcissistic abuse realizes that it's time to distance themselves from this person. Is like, you know what, I am done. I don't want this person in my life anymore. That's it. You're not going to text me back. I'm not going to text you either. I'm just going to ignore you. I'm just going to live my life. I want to get as far away as possible from you. And it's almost like the narcissist realizes that you're doing that. And it's at that precise moment, just when you're starting to get a little bit of your strength back, just when you start getting a little bit of hope, that you're going to start moving forward and you're going to put this narcissist abuse behind you. Then the narcissist tries to suck you back in. Like Al Pacino said, you know, just when I thought I was out, they suck me back in. And I know I butchered that quote. And I could do a better impression, I promise you. I'm not up to it today. But that's exactly what it is. That's why it's called a hoover. Now, a reverse hoover obviously would mean when the victim of the narcissist abuse, the victim is the one that hoovers the narcissist. Now, why would anyone in their right mind do that? Well, let's jump right in, shall we? Want to highlight a comment of someone that's asking that exact question. And she asks, why is it that when you give the narc the benefit of the doubt, they treat you even worse? It's really difficult for me to turn my back on someone, even when I'm in their crosshairs for abuse. I kept hoping to reach them somehow, knowing their troubled childhood. But every time, and I mean every time, I would show love and empathy, the narc became far more dismissive of me, invalidated me, and started being actively cruel after exactly 1 day of niceness. From watching your videos, I know they're not built the same way mentally. But if someone was showing me understanding and kindness and patience, I wouldn't so readily and easily flush that person. I'm pretty certain my ex is a covert narc or covert narcissist. And I'm the one who's discarded them again and again. But like a sucker, I take the bait of a reverse hoover, hoping that this time they will listen. We can talk like adults and make things work. But now, every time we reconnect, the time in between where I'm not being emotionally abused and manipulated gets smaller and smaller, where once it could last months, then weeks, and now mere days. The last time they weren't even trying to hide their disdain and contempt for me, but they still didn't want me to leave. Mind games. Ugh. Yeah, exactly. You see, so why do victims of narcissist abuse end up pulling the reverse hoover? And it has to do with, when I talk about trauma bonds, it has to do with when you just can't accept that there are people out there that are wired differently than you. You can't accept that there are people out there that are genuinely evil. You can't accept there are people out there that do not have an ounce of care or empathy in the world for anything, for anyone, except for themselves. You think that everybody operates the same way you do. You think that because you have empathy and understanding, you think that because if someone apologizes to you or if someone makes a case, you're going to give them the benefit of the doubt time and time again. You think that because you show acts of kindness and forgiveness, that everybody else in the world operates the same way you do. And you don't have to be a narcissist to not share the values and morals that you have. We got over 8 billion people on the planet. Everyone's different. But when we're dealing with a narcissist, when we're dealing with a psychopath, when we're dealing with toxic people and the disorders that we cover in this channel, you have to be willing to accept that these people just do not function the same way that you do. And only when you get to that level of acceptance can you even begin to start to recover for something like this. Because if you don't, and you still go under the pretense that these people actually take into consideration what you're telling them, that they take into consideration that maybe they have actually hurt you and traumatized you in a way that was unwarranted, and that maybe they owe you an apology, that maybe they need to make amends to you, maybe they need to make changes in their life because, oh, it seems that every relationship they get into ends the same exact way, and they do the same things, and they get accused of doing the same things. That's not going to happen when you're dealing with a full-blown narcissist. It's just not going to happen. So you sit there and you're wondering, wow, the days are going by. I thought by now the narcissist would have reached out. I thought by now the narcissist would have missed me. I thought by now the narcissist would have realized, damn, I think I screwed up. Let me call this person back and fix this shit before I lose them forever. That's what you thought was going to happen. And as the days go by and they start creeping up on you, and the loneliness starts to creep up on you, and reality starts to set in that, hey, you may just be alone for the next year or so until you meet someone else, or longer. Reality kicks in, and you're no longer going to have this narcissist to sleep with anymore. You're not going to have Christmas with them anymore. Oh, your birthday is around the corner. The narcissist is not going to be there to celebrate it with you. And you start to panic. Because that reality doesn't feel good, does it? You thought you were tough. You thought you were tough. You thought you could handle this. Hey, yeah, I'm just going to block them. Fuck the narcissist. I'm just not going to respond to them anymore. They'll see. They'll miss me. They'll realize what they lost. Ha ha. No. The narcissist doesn't realize shit. They realize when there's a lot of supply left in your storage cabinets that they can extract, and that's what they want, they'll realize, oh shit, you know what? This was a good repository. This was a good dispenser of supply. Let me make sure that I still have that I still have access to that. But they're not going to be looking at it like if they lost their love of their life and they can't live without you. No, those are crocodile tears. Those are stories that they just tell you, and oftentimes they're copying and pasting, and they're sending that shit to their ex-wives or their ex-husbands too. Okay, and you think you're special, and then you uncover that these sons of bitches are doing the same things to everybody. So reality kicks in, and it's a lonely reality. It's scary, isn't it? So you pull the reverse Hoover. You try to suck them back into your world. You start texting them. You start calling them. And if they don't answer, you call again. And if they don't text you back, you text again. Hey, I hope you're okay. I'm starting to get worried about you. Can you please just let me know that you're okay? You start with that shit. The narcissists, meanwhile, they're bouncing on someone else's private parts or being pegged, right? And they see that, and they get it's like they got injected at that moment. They get injected with like adrenaline. And it's like, oh, look at that. My old source of supply can't live without me. You're the one that's inviting them back in. And then they come back and they're nice to you for a day or so. And then the same shit happens again. The same shit happens again. And you ask yourself, but what the hell? I was finally getting better. Why did I contact the narcissist again? When I keep watching these videos and everyone in the video says to go no contact, and I had pulled off no contact. I had a 5-day no contact streak. Woo! 5 days. Big whoop. And then you go dial their number again. No. You can't keep doing things like that, expecting a different result. Come on now. That reverse hoover is on you. That reverse hoover is on you, which is, like I always say, it's great. If you can acknowledge that that's the choice you made, that means you could have made another choice. That means you could probably make a different choice right now. As you're leaving that comment and you're acknowledging that time and time again you do this, and the buffer between when they're nice to you and when they start abusing you, it's getting shorter and shorter and shorter, then why do you keep sucking the narcissist back into your life? And sometimes these why questions really don't have answers. All they do is trick your brain to come up with an answer. And if that answer is not good enough, well, back you go, try to solve the mystery. And now you're ruminating all day, trying to solve something, and you're never content with the answer that you arrive at. But it comes down to, sure, the trauma bond. You're conditioned to abuse at this point. You know it's abuse, but yet you're calling it back. So there's something inside you that needs fixing. And you're not going to be able to fix that if you're still entangled with the narcissist. If you have a virus in your system, if you have a disease, if you're allergic, here's a better example. If you're allergic to something, you go to the doctor and they tell you, and they run some tests and say, hey, you're allergic to peanuts. Well, doc, so what do I do? Well, stop eating peanuts. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I guess I can switch to peanut butter. No, jackass. You can't have peanut butter. Shit, you're right. Almond butter, that's what I'm... No, jackass. You can't have anything in the peanut family. You can't have foods that are processed in a lab where peanuts are also processed in there. Is that starting to sink in? That means you can't contact the narcissist. You can't have contact with the narcissist. You can't contact or have contact with people that are, I just spit at the camera, that are actively in contact with the narcissist. You can't keep speaking with their brothers and sisters. I'm running out of fingers. You can't keep speaking with their family or with their friends because the narcissist uses them for intel. And somehow, some way, in these dark areas that you don't want to talk about, you actually want the narcissist to know what's going on in your life. You actually are hoping that the narcissist hears through the grapevine how great you're doing without them so that they could get jealous or they can get, they can realize what they lost and start to miss you and come back. You are doing that. You are calling the narcissist back into your life. Oh, Kita, you're victim blaming. Shut the fuck up. No, welcome to reality. Welcome to reality. If you're given the opportunity to stay away from your abuser, do not call them back. It starts with you. The narcissist is not going to make it easy for you. Let me tell you what the narcissist is going to do. Because you know, cockroaches are not intelligent, and yet they sure know how to push our buttons, right? But they're not intelligent. Cockroaches don't communicate to the other cockroaches and tell them, hey, we're all in danger, let's get out of here. They keep taking the bait and they keep dying and they keep reproducing, they come back, they keep dying, they're morons. Other insects like bees and ants, they communicate, and when their hive is in trouble, they know, boom, they all go and they swarm and they attack. But narcissists are like cockroaches, okay? And somehow, some way, they know the right buttons to push, even though they're complete fucking jackasses, okay? And I'm not saying that they're retards, even though they act like them sometimes, right? But the narcissist will know, okay, this person doesn't have the strength to stay no contact with me, so I'm going to ghost them until they contact me back. And then the narcissist also knows, the narcissist also knows this person is more than capable of never contacting me again. So let me make sure I harass and stalk them and try to ruin their life every minute of the day. They're able to do both without even thinking about it. It's like they know. But just as instinctively, they do stupid shit, like ruining every relationship they get into, ruining the best relationship they ever had, ruining their life, their careers, ending up in jail, because they have a personality disorder. They have a mental illness like psychopathy and sociopathy. And then it branches into addiction and all these other things. And one may not have to do with the other, but they all, when combined, you're dealing with a force that has no conscience. And they're just going to destroy and obliterate whatever gets in their way, whether it's good or bad. They're going to annihilate it. So if you have the opportunity to stay away, it's your duty to ensure that you stay away permanently. If the narcissist is harassing you and stalking you, now it's time to get law enforcement. Now it's time to speak with an attorney. They're actively doing that shit, right? Especially if it gets like criminal, domestic abuse and shit like that, right? But if they're not doing that, if they just send you a text every few months, hoping, a Hoover text, hoping that you're gonna bite, don't bite. Just don't bite. Just leave it alone. Just ignore it. And you know what? You can block that number. And sometimes they don't even know they're blocked. Sometimes they don't know they're blocked because sometimes they're not even actively trying to get you back. They're just sending out a ping to all their sources of supply to see who responds. And you know what? If the pretty girl responds or the cool dude responds, they forgot that they even sent that ping to all these other people. So there's a chance that they pinged you. You didn't respond because you're going no contact, right? But the other supply did. And they made plans to rendezvous at their house or at a motel. And there's cockroaches in motels, aren't there? And that's what's going to go on. And you're here thinking that they're playing a game with you. Yeah, they're playing a game, but a lot of times they're not even paying attention to the game. They're paying attention to the shiny object that's right in front of them. So why try to suck them back into your life? Why try to pull the narcissist back into your life? It makes absolutely no sense. So here's a question I have for you guys. Have you ever been in the situation? And it doesn't have to be a narcissist. Okay? It doesn't have to be a narcissist, but if it is, more cookies for you. Okay? Have you ever been in a situation where you were in a toxic relationship, always fighting, always arguing? You knew it was time to break up. You knew it was just not moving forward. You were either growing apart. Maybe there was infidelity, cheating, and things like that. Maybe they're a drug addict or an alcoholic, and you just can't live with that anymore. It's taking a toll on your life, right? Maybe they broke up with you in unimaginable way and embarrassed you and broke shit in the house or whatever. Have you ever been in that type of situation? Okay? And once the anger subsided, once you were done telling all your friends about it, and they all validated, and they're like, yeah, you go, girl, that's right, leave his ass or whatever, and you felt great, and 4 or 5 days pass, and you're alone, and it's Sunday night, and you got to go to work the next day, or it's Friday night, and it's like, damn, I don't have my boyfriend or girlfriend to snuggle with. I'm not going to get laid this weekend. Everyone's out this weekend. It's a holiday, and damn, and this person's not there. How many of you guys picked up the phone and you swallowed, I don't know if swallowed your pride, it's fitting here, but you swallowed something, okay? And you reached out only to be disappointed again, and in a worse fashion. If that's happened to you, share your experience and your story in the comments below so I can read it and comment on it in a future video. Because this is happening, this has been happening for generations and generations. Not all the time we're dealing with narcissists and psychopaths, but it shouldn't even matter. It shouldn't even matter. A lot of people make decisions just because of the way they're feeling. They make emotional decisions. And when you make a decision out of emotion, oftentimes it's the wrong decision. You got to be a little more logical about it. So let me know your thoughts below, and I'll be sure to read it on the next video. If you'd like to work directly with me, I have a private one-on-one coaching program where you can tell me your story, intimate stories that you're afraid to share with anybody else, and we can work through this together. We can figure out exactly what is it that's holding you back from breaking free from your abusive narcissistic relationship. Even if you're going through something criminal, you know, I hope by now you have an attorney. I hope by now you're building a case against these psychopaths, right? But I've worked with a lot of people that are going through these dangerous situations too, because narcissism is not just, you know, love bomb, devalue, discard. I mean, these things turn to domestic abuse and stalking and cyberbullying and cyber harassment and all sorts of shit, and they really try to ruin your life. All right, so do not hesitate to reach out if you'd like to consult with me. I have more information in the link below in the description. I'm also opening up my store for merch. If you guys want to buy a t-shirt or a coffee mug, those are available too. I also have links for that in the description. If you want to support the channel, you can pick yourself up some merch. But, you know, most importantly, if you're already at the stage of no contact, if you're already there, believe me, it is so hard to even go one day of no contact when you're new to this shit. If you're already there, and you're watching this video right now, let this serve as motivation and strength to keep going. Just one more day. Just make it through the day and see how you feel tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes, just see if you can make it through one more hour. And go take a shower, go hit the gym. Turn your phone off for 2 hours. Tell yourself, I'm gonna just turn my phone off for 2 hours. Turn it off completely and go do something. See how you feel at the end of the 2 hours. Whatever hack you got to do to make sure you do not pull a reverse Hoover on the narcissist, you owe it to yourself to do it. Okay? And if you've pulled that off, please share your success story in the comments below, because we need more success stories in these narcissist communities. Okay? So thanks for showing up. Thanks for watching. Smash that like button if you got some value, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. My name is Kira, and this is PsychopathEXposure, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.